In 1966, 9 years after Malaysia achieved independence, a company was formed, a company that would grow to become UEM Group, a leading engineering-based infrastructure and services group in Malaysia. At a time when we needed roads, bridges, and highways to connect the people of our young nation, we dedicated ourselves to building the much-needed infrastructure that would become one of the springboards to the nation's growth. Behind these achievements are our people. The backbone of our successes, and the energy that will drive and inspire the future. It is this intent that the next 50 years are built upon.
UEM Group, uniting lives for a better future.
The construction industry in Malaysia plays a vital role in national development, driving infrastructure growth, employment and economic progress. However, it remains one of the most high-risk sectors due to its dynamic work environments, use of heavy machinery and high-altitude activities. The need for strict health, safety and environmental HSE practices has never been more important. UEM Group Berhad, a leading engineering-based infrastructure and services group wholly owned by Khazanah Nasional Berhad, is one of the key players in Malaysia's construction landscape. With decades of experience, UEM has been involved in major infrastructure projects, including expressways, township development, and complex construction works. One of their most significant involvements is in the Rapid Pengarang Integrated Complex, a large-scale oil and gas project in Johor, Malaysia. Due to the scale and complexity of the Rapid Pengarang project, the construction site possessed various safety hazards. Among the most critical is the risk of injury caused by falling or moving materials, especially during high-altitude work or while handling heavy machinery. This risk is further supported by OSHA's 2023 Work-Related Injury Summary, where the construction sector alone recorded 78,641 cases of injury, accounting for over 96% of all reported incidents. These figures stress the importance of implementing comprehensive HSE measures and training modules to ensure every worker is equipped with the right knowledge, attitude, and tools to protect themselves and others. It is within this context that developed the Zero Error, Reduce Injury, and Improve Safety training module, which we created to aim at minimizing workplace accidents and fostering a zero-harm safety culture at Rapid Pengarang.
Construction industry is one of the Malaysia's economy drivers, but it is also one of the most dangerous. At high-risk sites like Rapid Pengarang, workers face serious threats every day: excavation zones, unstable materials, and heavy lifting activities. Our analysis identified key risks during the seawall pipeline, especially injuries from falling objects and unsafe machinery operation. These are not isolated issues. According to OSHA 2023 report, over 78,000 injuries were recorded in construction alone, with 360 fatal crash cases. These statistics are backed by real tragic events, like a worker crushed by a wall in Johor or another fatality struck by a winch on a 50th floor in Kuala Lumpur. Each case reflects a gap in proactive safety planning. That's why our solution is more than just innovation, it is intervention. With the right tools, such as real-time risk monitoring, targeted training modules, or automated alerts, we can prevent these incidents before they happen. We are not just solving a safety problem, we are protecting lives, productivity, and reputation. This is the value we bring to the table.
Next, I will briefly explain the common causes of accident at construction site, especially related to work done by UEM Group Berhad. These causes are divided into three categories: human factor, organizational factors, and equipment-related causes. First, we look at human factors. These are accidents caused by human actions or mistake. First one is hit by moving vehicle. On site, we often have truck, lorries, and car moving around. Workers can get hit if they are not alert or if the driver cannot see clearly. Second, crane overturning. If the crane is not used properly or if the ground is not stable, it can fall over. This is very dangerous and can cause serious injuries. The third one is falling into a pit or excavation area. In many projects, there are deep hole or trench. If these areas are not covered or marked, people can fall in. And last one is cut or finger caught in between. When handling tools or machinery, finger can get caught or being cut. That's why wearing gloves and being careful is very important. Next, we look at organizational factors. These are probably related to how the site is managed. The first one is construction debris not clear. If waste and debris are not removed, people can get sick and get hurt. Second, poor access to work areas. If paths are blocked or not properly built, it can slow down the work and can cause accidents. The third one is contact with concrete chemical. Workers may come into contact with chemical in concrete if not wearing the right safety clothes. And the last one is breathe in cement, dust, and silica. Dust from cement and sand can cause harm to the lungs if masks are not used properly. Lastly, we look at equipment-related causes. These are accident causes by machinery and tools. The first one is machinery stuck in windy roads. During rainy days, machinery can get stuck on windy road, which can delay the work and be dangerous if they're using it. And the second one is using sharp tools. If tools are not handled properly, they can cause injuries to the workers. That is why workers need to be trained and the right safety equipment need to be used while handling the tools. So that is why in UEM Group Berhad, they take all the risks seriously by understanding the causes so that they can improve safety and protect everyone on the site.
For legal and regulatory frameworks, the first one is Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 compliance at UEM Rapid Pengerang Project. Based on Section 50 Class 1 of the OSHA requires employers to take all reasonable steps to ensure the health, safety and welfare of all workers. So this includes consultants and subcontractors, not just direct employees. At UEM Rapid Pengerang, this duty is reflected in practical control measures. Section 17 Class 1 states that employers must also safeguard third parties on site. So this includes subcontractors, visitors and external operators. So failure to provide a safe environment for them can lead to legal consequences. So at Rapid Pengerang, all external personnel are protected through protocols such as fence zones, warning signage, and escort vehicles, especially during mobile crane operations. Then, based on Section 24 Clause 1, shifts some reasonability onto the employees themselves. So they are required to take reasonable care of their own safety and that of others. However, the primary duty still lies with the employer, especially if there's failure to implement effective safety procedures. So, and lastly, Section 30 highlights the need for safety and health committees, or SHCs, so for any project with more than 40 workers. So these committees improve communication between workers and management on safety issues. Second, FMA. Based on Section 19 of the FMA 1967 mandates that only certified and trained individuals may operate or maintain machinery. This, so while the intent to comply is present, if any operator was unqualified, this would violate Section 19. So the inclusion of competency terms is good, but the real test is proper implementation on site. Based on Section 36 of the Act, applies to machinery like cranes and winch. So this must have a valid certificate of fitness or CF issued by DOSH and renewed every 15 months. So if a broker which was caused by an expired CF or mechanical failure, it will be illegal to operate and subject to DOSH enforcement actions. The third, CIDB 2017. So this is how the CIDB 2017 OSH CIM guidelines have been applied in the UEM Rapid Pengerang project. So we will review three key elements. The first one is risk management throughout the project life cycle. The second one is the principal contractor safety responsibilities. The third, controls for high-risk hazard like falling objects and mechanical failures. So the first OSH CIM requirement is that risk management, particularly high risks, must be applied at every project stage from design to completion. So this is to proactively identify, assess and reduce risk before incident happen. So the second one is directive requires the principal contractor to appoint a safety and health officer and maintain open communication among all project stakeholders. So in the RAPID project, the JSA names specific roles, project engineers, HSSE teams and site supervisors who collectively perform SHO duties. So these individuals lead daily toolbox meetings, coordinate the subcontractors and ensure safety practices like barricading and PPE use. The third OSHCIM guidelines emphasize strong risk control for high-risk hazards, especially falling objects and mechanical failures. So this includes engineering controls, administrative measures, and the use of PPE. So next, for MS-ISO 45001, Clause 6.1 requires companies to proactively identify hazards and manage risks and opportunities. So at UEM Rapid, this is clearly demonstrated through a well-structured hierarchy process in the JSA. So each task, such as lifting or equipment mobilization, is analyzed for hazards like mechanical failure or falling objects. Importantly, these control measures are overseen by qualified personnel, HSEC staff, site supervisors, and project engineers, so who also monitor continuous improvement mechanism. So these align directly with Clause 6.1 requirements for ongoing proactive risk reduction. So based on Clause 7.2 emphasizes that all personnel must be competent for the tasks they perform. So at Rapid Pengerang, the JSA specifically states that only competent machinery operators, computer riggers, and excavator operators are allowed to handle high-risk jobs. This demonstrates a structural readiness to adapt, which is exactly what ISO 45001 Clause 8.1.2 calls for. These are the roles of employers and employees. So for the employers, they have a legal and moral duty to provide a safe working environment. This includes first, conducting thorough risk evaluation before using heavy machinery or starting excavation work. Second, supplying personal protective equipment such as safety boots, helmets, gloves, and high visibility vests. Third, ensuring all equipment is certified and regularly maintained to prevent mechanical failure. Fourth, training employees on safe equipment use, hazard awareness, and emergency response procedures. 5th, appointing a safety and health officer SHO to oversee compliance with site safety regulations. 6th, encouraging open reporting of hazards or near misses without fear of punishment. And then the second one for employees, by taking this step, employers create a strong foundation for a safety first work culture. So every worker must first follow all safety rules and wear PPE correctly at all times. Second, report hazards, near misses or unsafe conditions to their supervisors immediately. Third, avoid reckless behavior, no horseplay or carelessness on site. Fourth, understand their job safety analysis, JSE, and actively participate in safety briefings to stay informed and aware. So by doing this, employees not only protect themselves, but also help prevent accidents that could harm others.
Now, let's talk about how OSH issues affect the construction. First is work safety. Construction workers face high risk every day, like working at heights, handling heavy machines, and breathing in harmful dust. In 2023, there were over 78,000 accidents in this sector. For example, in the Rapid Pengerang project, a worker died when a wall fell and another got hurt by a broken winch. Besides physical injuries, workers also face health problems like lung disease from dust and chemicals. And don't forget mental health. Long hours and stress can lead to depression or suicide. In fact, construction workers are 3 times more likely to die by suicide than others. Next is the economic and legal impact. When accidents happen, companies must pay for medical bills, compensation, and may get fined. Under the OSH Act 1994, if a company fails to keep workers safe, they can be fined up to 50,000 ringgit or go to jail. Also, many projects now needs ISO 45001 safety certification. If a company doesn't have it, they may lose future contracts, especially government ones. Lastly, OSH issues can cause project delays. Work often stops after an accident for investigation or repairs. Injured workers need time off, and hiring new workers takes time. Poor safety can also lead to rework, like rebuilding a collapsed structure, and this wastes time and money. In short, ignoring OSH can lead to accidents, losses, delays, and a bad reputations. That's why safety must always come first.
In the construction industry, working at heights is more than just another task. It is one of the most dangerous part of the job. One misstep, one unsecured harness, one overlooked safety measure, and lives are changed forever. That's why we created Zero Falls, Fall Protection, and Height Safety Training. This is not just another safety seminar, it is a comprehensive, hands-on training solution tailored specifically for the real condition workers face on your site. From scaffold setup and elevated platform work to emergency fall response and hazard awareness. Here's why every construction company should implement this program. First, it prevents accidents before they happen through proactive hazard identification and on-site simulation. It protects your workers and your businesses with legal compliance aligned with the OSHA 1994, FMA 1967, and International ISO 45001 standards. It saves money by reducing costly incident, downtime, and liability risk. It builds reputation. Company knows for safety, attract better workers, secure better projects, and win client trust. This program is built for your entire construction teams, site workers, engineers, project managers, supervisors, even new hires. With structured training at our initial seasons, 4-hour refreshing every 6 months, and weekly 50 minutes toolbox talks, will make safety second nature. Our goal is simple: zero tolerance for preventable falls. So ask yourself, can your company afford to wait for another accident before taking action? Let's turn compliance into culture and safety into strength. Partner with us and make Zero Falls the standard for your site, workers, and future. Because in construction, every life saved is a project well built.
In conclusion, workplace safety remains a big challenge in Malaysia's construction sector. Risk of injuries are still one of the main causes of death at construction sites. Despite having laws like OSHA 1994 and enforcement by DOSH, accidents continue to happen, such as the case at the Rapid Pengerang site. Many of these incidents are preventable, but due to negligence, poor awareness, and weak safety measures, lives are still at risk. By implementing this fall protection training module, we hope to build a stronger safety culture where every worker understands their role, takes safety seriously, and goes home safely every day.